Hello everyone and welcome to Pablo Escobar's video series. This is going to be vlog entry number 13 and a bit of a shorter update since we're filming this during the off period of Grand Arena and awaiting Grand Arena Season 27. So not much of a Grand Arena update, so to speak, just preparing for the first return to 3v3 after a couple of months. But with the account update, there's been a few increases, a few changes, and some progression towards the C farm, so I think that's what we're going to focus on for this update. So starting out with the C farm, firstly, so the timeline that I drew up was to try and be done with my farming and unlock C around the end of June. Maybe having ready to start running from July or so. So when looking at the overall farming requirements, we're currently at 11 of the 15 unlocks. As I mentioned, I think in the very first video when I started updating the series about the C farm progression, I took off the 16th requirement, which is basically just get to level 85. But there hasn't really been too much of progression with any of these teams. I think once I get the Royal Guard and the last few requirements across the relic requirement mark and start working on dark side tickets, I'll start slowly gearing up the rest of these characters for their different teams and turning them towards gear 12 at the minimum. Dark Trooper I'll probably try and push across to Relic 5, but the rest of these will probably get as far as I can to gear 12 for most of them. Mara Jade and Iden Verso, because of their star requirements, will sit at gear 11, and I'll eventually get around to them once they become double drops next year sometime. But looking at the second half of the requirements, I was able to get Dot Sidious across the Relic 7 mark and able to start investing some gear in the 3 characters that were at gear 12 and starting to move them towards gear 13. The Sith Marauder is currently at gear 12 with 4 pieces, Krennic is at gear 12 with 2 pieces, and Tarkin is at gear 12 with 5 pieces. I'm slowly starting to work on trying to push Tarkin across the Relic mark, and I think he only has to be at Relic 3 or something, so it's pretty easy to invest some gear into him without really breaking the bank a bit on pieces. When it comes to the carbonite circuit boards, I would ideally like to scrap a lot of the low tier gear, but I don't have a surplus of that lying around in this account, so I'm probably gonna just buy out, I think it's 120 or 140 of those carbonite circuit boards, and it seems to last quite a while, so maybe I'll just go around to doing that. The Royal Guard is currently at gear 10 with 5 pieces, I think, and he's just waiting for a final piece to go across the boundary into gear 11. That last piece is just a couple of stun guns, so I think after the Sunday challenge where you get to try all those daily challenges, I'll be able to have enough to get him up to gear 11, and then hopefully not too far from there to get him to gear 12, which is his current allocation on the farming schedule. The Armorer and Watt both have their Zetas applied to them, and in terms of Zetas, I think I'm going to stop with the rest of the team with all of their Zetas as they are currently. I'm not going to invest any more in the rest of this team for now. I'll relook at it maybe later down the road, but there's a whole lot of other characters that need Zetas far more urgently. So that's the C farm. Now going back to the account update, a little bit of changes and a little bit of progression here heading in favor of moving the count along. So we were able to go from 4.73 million GP to 4.76 million, so adding a total of 30k GP. And the relic farm, currently we don't have anyone gear 13 pushing up to relics. Hopefully Tarkin gets there soon. Our gear 13s are currently Krennic at gear 12 with 2 pieces, Tarkin at gear 12 with 4 pieces, sorry, not 5. Marauder is also at 12 with 4, but I think Tarkin might be closer to 5 than Marauder. My gear 12 project is still the Royal Guard, who's been able to acquire a little bit more gear and is currently at gear 10 with 5 pieces. The energy farms, so it's still the Armorer. Wrecker has been moved off of this. I just 7-starred him during the course of the week. I managed to get up quite a lot of shards while farming the Galactic Republic Y-Wing, and ship farms are absolutely horrible, so even a non-accelerated drop character was able to get quite far by the time I 7-starred that bomber. Resistance Zero Fin is still being farmed. The IG-2000 and TIE Bomber are still the 2 ships that I'm allocating, so that's my 5 normal energy farms. The Zetas, I'm still saving the Zetas up for C, and I'm currently at 62 out of the 120 that I require for him, so just over halfway now. My Omicrons, I'm currently at 25 out of 20, and still trying to save up for Darth Malgus. This conquest has actually been surprisingly difficult because I don't have any Inquisitors. I'm also not looking to invest in the team at any point in the future. And to be honest, a lot of these requirements are quite, or feats rather, are quite difficult to unlock. So I'm probably going to unlock him in about maybe 6 months or so. So I'll probably have to save up as many Omicrons as I need. Maybe the next update will include the total in there. In terms of the currency spending, it's pretty much the same, hasn't really changed too much from the previous videos that we've shown. With the mods, I've been able to make some improvements. We've added another 6A mod, and a few that have gone up from 20 plus speed to a total of 37 now, and 17 6A mods in total. So a slow amount of progression. This week will be the defense mod farming section. So short and sweet updates, but just a little bit of progression on the account. And hopefully next week we'll have the first round of our 3v3 Grand Arena foray in Aerobium 2, and we'll be able to chat a bit more about that with the updates and the reviews of that week. But thanks so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe and share any thoughts, and don't forget to check out the Twitch streams for the upcoming GAC weeks ahead. Once again, thanks for taking the time out to check out this video. Always appreciating the support. Cheers guys, take care.